Alrighty, guys. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. Hope everyone is having a fantastic evening out there. Happy Friday, everybody. So, we got ourselves a bit of an issue. Bit of winter weather going on here. A little bit of ice, a little bit of heavy snow and whatnot. We have ourselves a little bit to cover here. A little bit to cover tonight. We're going to be doing personal zip codes in this live stream, by the way, guys. I just want to go ahead and let you all know at some point, not now. But what's up, everybody? Let's see who we got here today. We have Crystal. We have Emily. We have, let's see here, Ohio. We have Mark. We have Polly. We have Raka, Stormteller. We have Weather, Lake, J-Lore. Let's see, Isaac, Darian, Weather Coaster. Let's see here, MD. Kit, what's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Good to have y'all here. So, yeah, like we mentioned, we do have a bit of a wintry mess going on here. There's actually a pretty long winter storm here, all the way from the northern plains, pretty much, cutting through, like, the upper portion of the Midwest. Okay, here's the thing. I consider some of these regions, like, the upper Midwest. So yeah, it really just depends on where you consider that. But like the northern plains for sure, going into the Ohio Valley, portions of like New England, the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic included here. So yeah, we're going to definitely need to be looking out for the winter weather. We actually do still have a few ice storm warnings in effect. We got a lot of winter storm warnings, a few winter storm watches being issued, and a lot of advisories. A whole lot of advisories. Got some more warnings up north, between North and South Dakota. Hey, you know what, man? It's actually going to be a pretty decent storm from what it looks like here. Pretty good amounts of accumulation here. We're not gonna waste any time, y'all. We're gonna jump right on into it. So the first thing that I do want to show you all is the accumulations here for snowfall. We're going to hop over here to the models. So let's hop over to GFS real quick. So this is the expected accumulation from this model. Take this with a grain of salt. Don't take it too seriously because, this is just one scenario, one possible outcome. But according to, like, the GFS and whatnot, we're actually talking a pretty good amount of snowfall out here. Across portions of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, little bits of, like, southern, Vermont and New Hampshire, as well as New York State. Actually seeing a fair amount of snowfall out here. A good 6+ inches is expected here, kind of in this pink shade here, according to the GFS model overall. So if you guys, where you guys kind of see that darker blue and the whites, that's kind of in the range of around 3 to 5 inches according to the GFS, and then this lighter stuff, this lighter bluish color, is in the range kind of more of like 1 to 3. Just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a heads up there. But you know what? Up there towards New England, coastal Northeast here, we could actually be dealing with a pretty good amount of snowfall out here. So once again, that's the GFS model run. Let's actually hop up to the Midwest here because, like I mentioned, this is going to be kind of a long snowstorm here. It's not just going to be for the Northeast. It's going to be impacting, the upper Midwest and whatnot as well. So we do have ourselves, a good widespread 1 to 3 inches or so, but we do have a little margin here according to GFS, like northern Wisconsin going into like northern Michigan, where we could be a little bit higher, possibly more in the range of like 2 to 4 inches, locally a little bit higher. Once again, this is the GFS. Once again, take this lightly. This is one model. This is one run too, so don't take these accumulations too seriously. This is just model guidance here, kind of giving us an idea of what we could expect. And then, of course, we're going to work our way up to the northern plains because, like I said, up north, we're going to be getting a bit of snow, too, with this storm system. Not a lot, really, for you folks up in, like, the northern plains, really. Mostly just within the realm of around 1 to 3, locally higher amounts in some spots could be possible. So that's that. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So really up north, not really a big snowstorm or anything like that. This storm's going to be the biggest out there towards like the Northeast and whatnot. And of course, if I zoom out here to the U.S. view, you can kind of see how it just really skims across the northern part of the country here overall. Let's see here. What's up, Matt? Hope you're doing good. Kit says, I'm in Connecticut expecting 5 to 7 inches starting tomorrow. Yep, that's... Hey, you know what? That's actually a pretty good amount of snowfall. We're going to turn down my brightness here. I don't know what's going on. It's a little bit bright here. Let's turn that down just a tad. There we go. That's a little bit better. Let's see here. Let me look at some more of these comments here. Weather says, my stomach bug feeling better? Yeah, it's definitely a lot better. I got over that a while ago, thankfully. But yeah, I'm doing a lot better. That was something else. It's actually going across Florida right now. There's a really bad stomach bug going on. It sucks. It's terrible. For the people in Florida that's been dealing with this, it's pretty bad. You guys know. Let's see. Still nothing for us here in Montreal. We didn't have snow this winter, but some flurries. Let's see. Will we get a dump this winter at all? Honestly, I mean, at this point in time, it just depends. I mean, right now there's nothing really in the future for anything like anything significant for you folks out there. So we'll see. Also, there is a second storm, but it's just a little too far out, guys. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news and whatnot, you know, how there might be another storm rolling through like the Mid-Atlantic. It's still a little early for accumulations and stuff because there can still be a lot of, you know, changes and whatnot. But we're just going to focus on this first storm here. But anyways, yeah, so according to GFS, though, once again, the heaviest of the accumulation is going to be out there in the northeast here overall. Now, there is actually going to be a bit of ice involved here, too. Let's hop to freezing rain. Ignore that ad. Not a sponsor. But if we take a look here at the GFS here, yeah, so actually portions of the Mid-Atlantic and, like, the southern area of the northeast is going to be getting a bit of ice, which, you know, they just had that little ice storm that rolled through not too long ago. But according to GFS here, yeah, we could have some pretty decent accumulations. You know, once again, it seems like Pennsylvania is probably going to be like one of the heaviest hit areas here with the ice. And by the way, for the people who's wondering what timing this is going to be, this is happening like pretty much starting tonight, going into tomorrow. So just a bit of a heads up here. Let's actually do a little bit of a timing thing to kind of give you guys an idea of when to expect everything. So, with that being said, we're going to look at the HRRR. So, basically, at the point now, we are starting to already see the system kick off. If we take a look here at the current radar real quickly, which we'll go ahead and hop you guys over to. So this is the active radar. You can already see the precipitation that's falling up across, you know, North, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin. We're already starting to see this activity take place. Now, hopping this, you know, into the future, I know you guys can't really see the time here. I don't think I have a thing to show you, but I'll let you know what time it is here. So tonight, we approach our way towards midnight. So this is 12 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Central Time. Still snowing across, you know, North, South Dakota, Minnesota. Pretty clear across the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, pretty clear. Not really a lot going on. Maybe a little bits of, you know, lake effect snow going on up there in the north, but, you know, really not a whole lot of anything going on. We approach right around like 8 a.m. tomorrow. So 8 a.m. Eastern time. This would be 7 a.m. Central time. So right around this time being, the snow is going to be across Minnesota, starting to work its way up into Iowa, possibly even a little bit of like, you know, freezing rain and whatnot going on out there towards Iowa and like northern Missouri at this point in time. Also, you know, for Wisconsin, dealing with a little bit of snowfall and whatnot as well. So then we approach our way into right around noon, 12 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern time, 11 a.m. Central. At this point in time, we are likely dealing with a pretty good amount of ice, you know, freezing rain and whatnot, likely occurring across portions like Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana, as well as all that snow kind of working out of Minnesota at this point in time. Same thing for Iowa, really coming down in Wisconsin at this point, you know, for noon Eastern tomorrow, so 11 a.m. Central for you guys, and starting to work its way up into Michigan around this time as well. Mid-Atlantic, actually, you know, there is a possibility we could have a little bit of wintry weather going on up here towards like, you know, northern Virginia and whatnot at this point in time. A bit of rainfall towards like West Virginia tomorrow afternoon. But anyways, so then we go a little bit further down in time. So this is, we'll go ahead and go to 8 p.m. Eastern time. So this is 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central time. And around this point in time, you know, the snow is pretty much leaving Wisconsin and whatnot. It's still snowing pretty good out there towards like Michigan overall, you know, starting to pull out of Ohio. But at this point in time, tomorrow evening, it's going to be really coming down across the Northeast here, you know, in terms of both ice, especially out there towards like Pennsylvania and whatnot, and some of those mid-Atlantic states. We're going to be getting a pretty good amount of ice potential out there. So tomorrow evening, that'll be really coming down. This is for 8 p.m. once again, you guys, Eastern time. And of course, still seeing or really starting to see a lot of snowfall across, some of those areas up in the northeast here overall. So then we approach midnight going into the 9th here. So this is midnight for the 9th. And basically all of that mess has kind of rolled out of the, out of the Midwest at this point, out of the Ohio Valley, starting to calm down, throughout the mid-Atlantic and whatnot. But it is still really coming down across, especially interior New England and whatnot, seeing a lot of heavy snowfall in general, as well as, once again, still a bit of ice going on at this point for going into the 9th here. Once again, we're going to have to really look out for those ice accumulations because models, they're suggesting that they could be, upwards 2-3 tenths of an inch or maybe even greater in some localized spots. So we'll have to look out for that. And then, of course, once again, continue to work our way down in time here right around 8 a.m. tomorrow, 8 a.m. for the morning of the 9th. A lot of this mess is just going to start rolling out of the country, and it should be out by noon on the 9th, okay? That was a lot of talking, but that is basically the timing with this system here. You can see starting up north, then rolling through like the Ohio Valley, working its way to the Mid-Atlantic in terms of a bit of ice and some snowfall up north. In general. So, but, like we mentioned here, hopping back to those accumulations we were actually looking at there, there's going to be the possibility for a fair amount of, not only ice, but also snowfall. Some regions are going to be seeing snowfall totals upwards of, possibly well over a half a foot or so, which, yeah, that's, it's a decent amount of snowfall. All right, let's see here. Let me look at some of these comments, you guys. Like I said, I just had to go through all that timing. What's up, Jay? Hope you're doing good. Welcome, welcome. What's up, JMC? What's up, Brandy? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Jay? I already said Jay. Welcome. Hope you're doing good. Let's see, Bacon says, hey, I do not think that Monroe, Michigan will be getting much snow or ice. Well, Michigan's going to be getting impacted by the storm here. Like I mentioned, we'll do personal zip codes here in a little bit, but... Michigan, it depends on where you're at, though. I know you said your area. I'm not too sure where that is off the top of my head. But, portions of Michigan are going to be getting impacted or is going to be getting impacted, by this storm here. So, like I mentioned, this is going to be causing some issues, all the way from up in the northern plains, through the upper Midwest, Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast. It seems like some of those heaviest of the impacts are going to be between the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast here. Mid-Atlantic will probably take a lot of the heaviest impacts here, and all that potential ice accumulations and whatnot, that we could be dealing with out there. And then, of course, that snowfall up even higher up north. Absolutely. Leo says, great show. Keep up the amazing work. Be safe, my friends. God bless from Lovelysville, Kentucky. Thank you, Leo. Appreciate that. All right, let's see here. What's up, Peachy? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Storm says, what are the possibilities of power outages in these warned areas? Is that possible? It can happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially those areas out where the ice is, like Pennsylvania. Pretty much the way that this is going here, I wouldn't be surprised if Pennsylvania has like some of the most of the power outages due to the fact that that's where most of the ice is going to be with this storm system. We already do have a little bit of ice storm warnings that's being issued here. We'll have to see. It just depends on how much, the official forecast does bring us and how much we actually do get. They might actually, expand these ice storm warnings, I have a feeling. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how they, what they do. But as of now, we do have a little bit of ice storm warnings here from the National Weather Service. So we'll keep you guys updated. We'll keep on posting you guys updates on this here. And we'll keep y'all in the loop of everything, essentially. Let's see here. We are like the only spot in Pennsylvania without a warning. I'll stay in my corner. Let's see. Oh, you're down here, probably towards Pittsburgh area. Yeah, here's the HRRR. You know what? That is kind of funny. The southwest corner of Pennsylvania just stays like rainfall. It's probably just going to be too warm, honestly, for some of those regions out there. That is kind of funny, though. Just that little corner in southwest Pennsylvania will likely remain just too warm for any of that winter precipitation. Meanwhile, the rest of the state's going to be dealing with, a lot of ice. So the pinkish colors, you guys see the pinkish and purple colors y'all see here, that is freezing rain. This peach color, or kind of oddly tan color, whatever color you want to call that. That's sleet, and of course the blue is snowfall. Let's see here. Jason, my man, coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Jason. Appreciate that. Saying next week's forecast for Salt Lake City. Thank you for your knowledge and great weather show on the tube. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. I really don't think there's a whole lot going on for Salt Lake City, Utah. I do know there's a little bit of snow shower activity expected here, in the future, but to be honest, Jason, I don't think there's going to be a lot for you here. Let me bring you guys over here to this view over here real quickly. We'll hop down to the 18 Zulu because we have the new models rendering here. Honestly, really the only thing that you said for next week's forecast. Gotcha. So yeah, I mean, really the only thing that I see going to be happening out there towards that region here is a little bit of a disturbance, maybe some snow showers and whatnot here. According to GFS, around the 11th and 12th. Let's see if that's consistent, which it appears to be from the models here. But to be quite fair, I don't really see anything like super wild for your area here. Winds seem to be behaving themselves for the most part. Honestly, Jason, you look pretty good, man. Honestly, I don't think we're going to be dealing with a whole lot of issues out your way. But thank you, man. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for the $5. That's greatly appreciated. Helps us out here. Much, much appreciated, my friend. Thank you. Means a lot. It really does. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, we will be doing more personalized zip codes here in a few minutes. But what I do want to do now is hop back to these models here, so we can talk more of the different opinions here from like the Euro, the GFS, and whatnot. So let's hop back over here to the models. So, like I mentioned, we were just looking at the GFS and whatnot, and, GFS, ignore that other storm here. GFS does suggest, a good amount of snowfall towards, the coastal New England region here. Hey, you know what? Possibly up to, a good half a foot or more is going to be quite possible. So that's what GFS suggests. Now, hopping over to, like, Euro, the ECMWF. Now, Euro, honestly, isn't that much further off here. Let's hop back up to the northeast here, get a little bit more of a better view. So, according to the Euro, as this storm does roll through, like I mentioned here, the storm is going to be kind of pushing through. We're going to really start to get a lot of accumulation here for pretty much starting here for the morning of the 9th. That's whenever a lot of the activity is going to be occurring for you folks. It's going to be pretty much for like the early 9th here. So, with all that being said, Euro suggests a good 5-6 inches, maybe locally higher amounts possible. So, between what the Euro and the GFS, suggests here, there is really not a whole lot of differences. I mean, the GFS only suggests maybe like another inch or two for some of those regions here, but really there's not that much of a difference. Now let's hop over to the GDPS. This is the Canadian model. Canadian suggesting a good 5, 6, local 7 or so. So between all three of those models, they do at least support a good 4 to 6 inches or so. All of those models are kind of in that range. So, a lot of the folks out there towards, like Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and whatnot, are going to be pretty much locked in for at least a good, 4, maybe upwards of 6 inches or so. Locally higher amounts definitely being possible. So, that is something to look out there for. Then, of course, like I said, the snow is one thing. Then we have the ice, which is another thing. According to some of these models here, ice accumulations could be pretty heavy. So once again, we're looking at the GDPS. This is the Canadian long-range model, in which you can see Maryland, like southern Pennsylvania, really getting it. Possibly even areas out there by New Jersey and whatnot. Good 2-3 tenths of an inch. Locally higher up, maybe 4-5 tenths of an inch or so. We'll have to see how that plays out. But that's what this model suggests. Euro, on the other hand. Which here, let me hop back over here real quickly. Let me go ahead and log into this real fast. That way we can look at some of these other parts here. So let's hop back over here. Now that I've logged in here, let's go ahead and bring you guys back. So according to like the euro, let's look over here at the ECMWF. So like the GDPS was suggesting a good 2-3/10 of an inch or so. Whenever it comes to, let's see, winter weather, let's hop down to let's see here, total ice. We'll do actually let's do total ice here. Yeah, let's get the total ice included here. So according to Euro, kind of the same thing here. Good 2, maybe 3/10 of an inch throughout a lot of like Pennsylvania. Possibly 1, maybe 2/10 of an inch out there towards a lot of Maryland and whatnot. Maybe a little bit more in those upper elevations of like West Virginia. But the way that it's going here, it really does kind of seem like the models here are suggesting, at least a good upwards of 2 to 3/10 of an inch, which it takes about 2/10 of an inch to really cause some problems, in terms of like power outages and all that fun stuff. So that is something that we're going to have to definitely take into consideration here, is going to be those power outages and, blocked roads from trees, and not only that, but also really slick roads and stuff. So, we'll definitely need to look out there for that. Just make sure you guys are, ready before the storm rolls through. Once again, this thing is really going to be picking up here. Like I said, it's already happening. It's already starting here. Once again, this is current radar. You guys can see at the moment, got a little bit of precipitation towards Kentucky and whatnot, rainfall and stuff. But up here towards like North South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, we're already starting to see the beginning of this winter storm go on. We already do have some snow and stuff rolling its way through those regions. But then, hopping back over here to the program and, like I said, the future radar and whatnot, this thing's really going to come together tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon and whatnot. That's when this thing's going to really kind of push together there overall. Now, it does look like HRRR does have kind of a little bit of a line. There might be some storms on that, some non-severe thunderstorms. Let me bring up SPC. Real quickly, Storm Prediction Center. Let's look at the latest risk here. So, yeah, no risk today. Tomorrow, like I mentioned, I would not be surprised. Yep. So, with that line we were just looking at on the HRRR, we do have a generalized thunderstorm risk, which is a TSTM risk, which is just, normal thunderstorms, nothing severe, no damaging thunderstorms or anything like that. But there will be the possibility for some storms tomorrow overall. Like I said, across portions of Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, and whatnot, so we'll have to look out for that. And then, of course, Sunday, nothing in the forecast yet. And the good news is that throughout the next 8 days, we are not expecting any severe weather. So while we do have this line of storms that does kick off tomorrow evening, as of now, they are not expected to... like I said, not expected to be severe, which is good news. But, don't be surprised if you do hear a few rumbles of thunder or anything like that out there. So that's good. Let's see here. What's up, Sonia? Hope you're doing good. Bacon says, how is it possible that severe thunderstorms could form when temperatures are so low? Like I mentioned, there's not going to be any severe weather as of now expected on this system here. So at the current moment, there's not expected to be any severe weather. Thing is, though, is with these low pressure systems, you got that low that kicks off, and you have a lot of warm air, a lot of like warm air advection. So basically, a lot of warm air, you got that warm front kind of trails through. Anyways, so a lot of warm air gets pulled up from the south, and then the opposite happens on the backside. So you get a lot of cooler air coming in from the north, essentially. So that's kind of how these systems roll. And as the system rolls northeast, the cooler air advances further down into the country, and the warmer air pulls its way back up, essentially. So that's that. That's that. Do we have a Discord? Yes, we do. It's actually in the description. If you guys want to check all that out, it is in the description. But anyways, like I mentioned, yeah, there's not going to be any severe weather, thankfully, on the storm system here. As of now, anyways, SPC does not have any form of, risk or anything. Let's actually hop over to this real quickly. I do want to do a little bit more in-depth viewing of this. So let's hop to the HRRR over here. to my other program. Actually, we're just going to bring it over here. Why not? I haven't set up a scene for it yet, so we're just going to have to bring it over here. So, the first thing I look at is instability. So this is like the fuel in the atmosphere, the thunderstorm juice, essentially. So tomorrow, yeah, I mean, you can see in the atmosphere there's going to be trace amounts of instability. So a little bit of thunderstorm fuel. So, yeah, that, could get some storms going and whatnot. But to be honest, there's really not a lot of fuel in the atmosphere. That's not really enough to cause organized severe weather or anything like that. Between all the models we just looked at, NAM, RAP, and HRRR, it seems to be fairly weak in regarding to the instability. Only a couple hundred joules per kilogram, which is very low, and that's going to be a huge limiting factor in preventing this from becoming like anything severe. Not to mention, I mean, our moisture supply, upper 50s, it could work, but not really in that Goldilocks zone. The dew points are a little bit on the lower side. But, still could, have a thunderstorm-prone environment with it. But, like we mentioned, not anything severe expected out of that. So, low instability, moisture's kind of meh, I guess. And in terms of, like, the wind shear, that's probably really the only thing that this system has going for it. Is going to be that really strong wind shear. So the lower level jet stream here, we have that low pressure system over the Ohio Valley. It'll be really amplifying those lower level and mid level wind shear. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, the lower and mid level winds are going to be really moving. So that is needed for severe weather. So yes, the wind shear is there, but like we mentioned, low amounts of instability, very low trace amounts of instability, which is not enough to get organized severe weather. On top of that, moisture is meh. Like I mentioned, dew points in the 50s, not really the best for storms, but it could happen. But so yeah, basically what it boils down to is just a normal thunderstorm threat, nothing severe, but a couple booms of thunder possible essentially. So. We'll keep an eye on it, though. If anything changes overnight, we'll keep you all posted. Whenever I get up in the morning, I'll make sure to do another update with you guys to make sure that you guys are, staying weather aware and stuff. Anyways, but all right, you guys. Well, we'll go ahead and start doing some zip code forecasts. You guys want me to take a look at that? Josh says I'm not going to look at Discord right now. Kind of in the middle of streaming. But if you guys, like I said, if y'all want me to take a look at your zip code, feel free to throw it down in the chat. I'll let you guys know what warning or anything like that you're in. Like I mentioned, we do have a lot of advisories out here, a lot of winter weather advisories, quite a couple of, ice storm warnings. We're really starting to get a lot of winter storm warnings pushing through. Got a couple of winter storm watches and stuff, but that's that. Alrighty, let's see here. Mr. Storm wants me to look at 11579. 79. I got you, my friend. You are up in New York. So you, actually, yeah, you're right up here towards, you're in Long Island. So you, my friend, so this is official from the National Weather Service here. Expected snow totals between 3 to 5 inches. Light glaze of ice also possible, so a little bit of icing, but mostly snow, 3 to 5 inches, yeah. I mean, between what the NAM, or sorry, not the NAM, the GFS, the Euro, and the GDPS, it does seem like the models are in sync. For a lot of this area, not just where you're at, but a lot of, these regions here, to be dealing with, a good amount of, a good 4 to 6 inches or so, so a lot of you folks in there will be, seeing that. So, but yeah, for you, 3 to 5 is what we're expecting. Lake Effect says, let's see, 14120, 14120, got you, my friend. You are in, kind of the same area. Actually, never mind. I saw New York. I was like, wait a minute. No, you're up in Western New York State. So not that much different though. Snow accumulations here between 2 to 5 inches. So honestly, it's a decent amount of snowfall. Not anything super wild or anything like that. But you do have a winter weather advisory. So between 2 to 5 inches of snowfall with locally higher amounts possible. So there could be some, localized spots that could get a little bit more. But hey, you know what? 2 to 5 is what we are expecting for you. Bacon wants me to take a look at 48162. Gotcha. Let's see, 48162. You, my friend, are in Michigan, and I have some good news. You are not in any advisory or anything like that. I don't think you're going to be seeing a whole lot of snowfall. I will bring up the blend, though. the NWS blend of models, which kind of likes to just kind of mash all those models together. Here, let me bring you over here real quickly. Go ahead and hop y'all over here. So yeah, we're not going to be seeing a lot towards your area. Oops, that's ice. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, really not a lot towards your region here. You're going to be less than an inch, actually. Probably a trace to a dusting or whatnot. But, south of Detroit here, basically where you see this this light blue here, this is where that 1 inch mark is, according to the blend. And you're south of that, so you're going to be less. I know it says 1 inch, but you're actually going to be under an inch here. Not really a lot. Really not a lot to do anything, to be honest. So that is that. All right, let's hop back here. Who did we? All right, we just did Bacon's. All right, Crystal, gotcha. Actually, yeah, Crystal, you're not in the warning either. You're not in any form of advisory or anything like that. According to the blend here, you might get a couple tenths of an inch of snow, but yeah, really nothing to cause any problems, and no need for any advisory. So honestly, yeah, nothing. You're not going to really see much. Look wants me to take a look at, let's see, 06489. Gotcha. 06489. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. So for you, my friend, you're actually under a winter storm watch. So we're going to have to continue to watch this area here because, this will likely turn into a winter storm warning at some point here soon. As of now, from the National Weather Service, total snow accumulations between 5 to 8 inches is possible. Okay, that's a pretty hefty amount of snowfall. 5 to 8 inches of snow, that's a pretty good amount. So make sure that you do keep an eye on this because, this will definitely be impactful. Once again, you're under a winter storm watch. Keep an eye on the local forecast because, those totals will probably be changing a little bit as we continue to roll closer to the event here, which, like I said, tomorrow night's when it's going to be really kicking off for a lot of you folks up there. But, like we mentioned, though, that will probably be upgraded to a winter storm warning here in a little bit. But right now you're under a winter storm watch. Once again, 5 to 8 inches. It's a fair amount of snow. Undrafted, once we look at 05201. Gotcha. 05201. Gotcha. So you, my friend, are actually really not that far to the north. You also got a winter storm watch. Look at this. Wow. Heavy snow possible. Total snow accumulations 7 or more inches possible. So that's actually in your watch. So once again, you're also probably going to have a winter storm warning soon. Yeah, that'll honestly probably be upgraded relatively soon. Probably tomorrow morning. You'll be having that upgraded to a winter storm warning. But as of now, it's a watch. So keep an eye on it. Don't be surprised if those totals change a little bit, but as of now, 7 or more inches is possible out there. So keep an eye on it for sure. Mark wants me to take a look at 63334. Gotcha. 63334. You, my friend, are up in Missouri. Okay, so yeah, you're not in any form of watch or advisory or anything like that. Yeah, I don't even think you're going to be getting much of anything out here. Yeah, with this system, we're not expecting anything. There's another system. Okay, there's another system on the 11th and 12th I've been tracking here too. We're going to hold off for now. The 11th and 12th is still, obviously several days away from now, which those totals are going to be, 1, changing quite often, but 2, I don't want to confuse anybody, and I want to keep it straightforward. For 1, it is a little early to look at those totals for that second storm, but I will say for this area, keep an eye on it. Not this storm that's happening tomorrow, but the storm that could be happening between the 11th and 12th. It might be something to look out for. But as of now, it's too early to look at the accumulations for that storm. But, yeah, nothing for this one, though. So you should be good. All right. Josh's. Gotcha. Let's see. 30240. 30240. We are up in Georgia. Nothing in Georgia. They definitely can tell you that. No snow up in Georgia, I'll tell you that one. Let me check. Also, 17752. Let's see here. Pennsylvania. Now, this area, you got a winter weather advisory. Total snow and sleet accumulations around 1 to 2 inches. Ice accumulations around 1/10 of an inch. So, a tenth of an inch of ice is not necessarily a whole lot, but it can cause some slick spots. It can make slippery sidewalks and, some surfaces definitely slick. it really becomes a huge problem once we kind of go above 2/10 of an inch. Once we're like 2/10 of an inch or greater, that's when it becomes a bit of an issue. That's where a lot of surfaces start to get frozen and slick, and that's whenever power outages and stuff like that start to occur. I mean, 1/10 of an inch, yes, can cause some inconveniences and some problems. But between 1 and 2 inches of snow and possibly up to about 1/10 of an inch of ice, which isn't a whole lot, but it's something. It's something. Look says, thanks for the updates. No problem. Absolutely. You're very, very welcome. Anytime, you guys. And like I said, we'll keep you guys updated with everything. Once again, we'll be keeping y'all posted on everything. Once again, like I mentioned, guys, we do have a lot of ice storm warnings here as well for some of the upper elevations of southwestern Pennsylvania and up here in northeastern West Virginia here. So for the ice storm warning here, look at this. Ice accumulations around 1/4 of an inch, so 0.25 inches. That's a fair amount of ice. Can cause some problems. Same thing for this one and this guy down here. Actually, sorry, that's not West Virginia. That's Western Maryland, actually. It's a little hard to see, but let's see here. So let's see, total snow and sleet accumulations up to 1 inch. Ice accumulations around the 2 to 3/10 of an inch. Yeah. If you get upwards of 2 or 3/10 of an inch, that's when it starts to. That's definitely problematic, you could say. Let's see here. It shows somewhere different, is why I say. Oh, gotcha, Storm. Just tell me wherever you want me to look, and I'll look at it. Like I mentioned, well, like I said, we're here to help. We're here to help you, or I'm here to help you, and let you know what you could expect. But yeah, so like I mentioned, a lot of the heaviest of the impacts, guys, it seems like it's going to be up here towards a lot of the Northeast. The coastal area of the Northeast is going to be getting a pretty good amount of snowfall. It does seem like 6, 7, 8 inches or so could be quite possible. All right, Storm Teller, I got you. Let's see here. All right, so okay, here we go. So you're actually in a winter storm warning. Snow has already begun across central Minnesota, with snow spreading across southern Minnesota, Wisconsin overnight. Let's see here. Within the warnings, 5 to 7 inches of snow expected, with 2 to 5 inches of snow for locations within the advisory. So you're actually in the warning. So you're going to be in 5 to 7. 5 to 7. Which, yeah, that's, you know what? That's a pretty good amount of snowfall. But yeah, a lot of that snow has already started here. If I hop back over here to the current radar and stuff, you guys can see. This is active radar right now. This is not models. This is current radar. You can see that a lot of that's already rolled through. We do actually have some pretty strong bands of snow, I've noticed too. Here, let's go ahead and launch one of my other programs we use. Let's see. I'm gonna get a higher definition radar up there. Higher def radar. Let's see. So that's up towards Wisconsin. Let's see. I guess KARX might be the best radar here. All right, let's hop back over here real quickly. Okay, so this is our typical coverage radar we usually do. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, you guys can see that we do have this long streak here of heavy snow. What is that? Upwards of 30 dBz or whatnot. That's coming down pretty good out there, it looks like. But yeah, current radar, though, like we mentioned, snow is rolling into Wisconsin at this point. Into Wisconsin, coming down across North, South Dakota, Minnesota, and whatnot. Also, Kentucky got a little bit of rain. This is not snow, though. This is just a little bit of rain and stuff. A little bit of, actually, a little bit of lake effect snow up there in New York we've been looking at, too. Let's see, out west. A little bit of precip out here towards western Oregon and western Washington State here, northwestern Oregon. A little bit of snow in those upper elevations of Utah, Colorado, Wyoming. But yeah, the storm's already started, and like I said, it'll really come in, really hit hard basically tomorrow evening. We're gonna be getting hit pretty good. So I'll give you guys more updates tomorrow. Of course, we'll definitely go live for you guys tomorrow. probably a little bit earlier. I'm going to shoot for it, going live a little bit earlier. That way we can give you guys some updates throughout the day. So I'll see what I can do. Oh, let's see here. Todd says, hey, Andrew, is Ottawa, let's see, snow headed or hold on, I read that totally wrong. Hey, Andrew, it's Todd. In Ottawa, is the snow headed my way? Let's see, where is Ottawa? Is my mind, like, blanking out right now? Where is Ottawa? Is that Canada? Is that Illinois? Hold on, you might need to be a little bit more specific, because there's an Ottawa in Illinois, there's an Ottawa in Michigan, Kansas, and Ontario, Canada. So I'm a little confused by which one you're talking about. Todd says we just got nailed by 10 plus inches. Wow, that's a pretty good amount of snowfall. Pretty good amount of snowfall. Yeah, the most snow I've ever seen at one point was like 38 inches. 38 inches. Back in 2016, we had that storm that really was a problem for the Mid-Atlantic. Drove a lot of snow. A lot of snow. Let's see here. But anyways. So yeah, like I mentioned, we're going to hop on back over here, y'all. But yeah, like I said, if you guys do have any zip codes or anything like that you want me to look at, I'll be more than happy to look at y'all's current warning. I'll be able to let you know how much snow you guys can expect and whatnot. Once again, we do have a lot of watches that's been issued and whatnot for portions of New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, portions of Massachusetts and whatnot. Also Rhode Island, Connecticut. So like I mentioned, those will probably be upgraded to warnings here relatively shortly, which will increase our area of warnings. So we'll probably have that, definitely by next update, we'll have a lot of those warnings in place. Ontario. Gotcha. So, yeah. Like we mentioned before, I don't know if you're here or not, we don't really cover Canada too much because, our resources are not as much available. However, it does look like you might get skimmed by a little bit of snow with the storm system here. Like I mentioned, the NWS does not work out of Canada. So the warnings and stuff like that we do get, don't really apply to you. Oh my goodness! No way, dude. We just got Proxy coming in with $100 donation on Venmo. Proxy! Holy cow! Thank you so much for the $100, dude. That is crazy. Y'all in chat, please give Proxy big W's in the chat. I appreciate that. Proxy, thank you. Let's see here. Proxy said, hard at work again, Andrew. You are the best. For Proxy. Thank you, Prox. Once again, seriously, thank you so much for that. That is greatly appreciated. Proxy, you're amazing. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate you. You really do help us stay afloat. So huge shout out to Proxy. Prox has always been our #1 supporter, and I'm very, very thankful for it, Prox. Thank you. And actually, Prox, if you want me to look at your I'm sure you want me to see what's going on out there towards you. So, Proxy, you do have a winter weather advisory. Total snow accumulations up to an inch. Ice accumulations around 0.2 of an inch. Okay, so an inch of snow, not a whole lot. The main issue is going to be that potential for 0.2 of an inch of ice. It's around that point where ice does become kind of a big issue. So Prox, make sure that you are keeping a close eye out there and just be careful. If you do plan on traveling, be careful. I would honestly advise against it. Areas out there by Cleveland are going to be dealing with possible accumulations ice-wise up to 0.2 of an inch or so. So quite a bit. Now, in terms of like the timing and stuff, so Prox, it looks like a lot of that's going to be happening tomorrow evening. Late afternoon tomorrow evening is when this is going to be happening. It shows kind of between 3 and 4 p.m. You can only take that with a grain of salt. I mean, take that lightly. But basically the afternoon going into the evening is when this is going to happen. It'll continue overnight, through the evening, and it'll start to let up just before midnight from what it looks like overall. So yeah, basically starting here late afternoon, early evening, cutting through the evening, and ending just before midnight. But once again, snow. It'll start off likely as snow, and then probably turn into sleet and freezing rain before exiting out. So be careful, Prox. Once again, I appreciate your support very much, Proxy. Thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate you. And definitely be careful out there, for sure. For sure. But like I said, guys, if y'all have any questions, feel free to let us know. What's up, Lisa? Hope you're doing good. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, like I mentioned, ice is going to be a big issue too. Especially for my folks out there, even by like Pennsylvania and stuff. You guys can see. So, honestly, yeah, I would not be surprised if we start getting more ice storm warnings out of this. So right now we do have 3 counties, 2 in southwestern Pennsylvania, and I believe this is western Maryland. I can't see the state lines, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is like western Maryland here. So we do have some ice storm warnings in effect in the yellow polygons here. So really not a whole lot of areas in those, but obviously if you're in them, be extra careful. Honestly, I'm going to be straightforward with you guys. If you're in an ice storm warning, you do not travel. You better stay home until those roads are clear, okay? Just trying to keep y'all safe and everything. So, yeah, do not travel in ice storm warnings. Advisories, honestly, it really ranges because some advisories are more significant than others. For example, we'll go ahead and pull one up here. Let's just grab a random one here in central Pennsylvania, okay? Let's see. Ice accumulation's around 1/10 of an inch. Let's see. And another one over here, just a little bit to the south here, between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch. So you can actually see here that there is, there is differences and stuff. But then let's just say we go down to one of the lower ones here. Ice accumulation's 1 to 2/10 of an inch. They really are different, Some of them are more significant than others. And a lot of the ice, though, is going to be happening for, like, the Mid-Atlantic and some of, like, the southern areas of the Northeast here. Thanks for the heads up, Adrian. No problem, Prox. Anytime. Once again, thank you for your support, Proxy. That really, truly does mean a lot to me, and it helps us out a ton. So thank you, seriously, Prox, from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it very, very much. Huge shout-out goes to Proxy. We love Prox. Thank you. Let's see here. Kim says anything in southeastern Michigan. So we are not really expecting anything for southeast Michigan. We might get a little bit, but we were actually looking at the models and stuff a little bit ago. You're not going to see really anything more than an inch. We're not expecting. Let me bring up the models again. Let me do a little bit more of an in-depth view of this. Let's actually hop to Michigan, and then we'll switch over to the models here for you guys. So it's kind of hard to see, but so the blend of models you can kind of see shows like southeastern Michigan really not expecting much, less than an inch for the most part. That's the blend of models. But then you got like the individual models like the GFS here. GFS suggests, possibly like maybe 1, 2, maybe upwards of 3 inches. So it's obviously a little bit different here. Then you got Euro, which, the ECMWF and whatnot really doesn't show much at all. Possibly some localized amounts up to an inch or so. Not a lot. Then you got models like the GDPS here. Once again, also kind of showing less than an inch for the most part. So, yeah, honestly, wouldn't count on much. Be lucky if you get a couple of inches. But honestly, you're likely going to be in the realm of maybe about a half an inch or so. Just enough to kind of coat the ground in a little bit of snow. But, yeah, really not a lot. Not enough for any warnings or advisories or anything like that either. So, looking pretty good. Anyways, let's see here. All right, Lisa says, how much ice for... Huh? How do you say that? I have no idea. I'm just going to copy and paste that and pretend I didn't see that. Is that Pennsylvania? How do you say that? Okay. Anyways, let's see. So this is out here by eastern Pennsylvania. So you, my friend, let's see, total snow and sleet accumulations around 1 to 2 inches, and ice accumulations around 1/10 of an inch. So 1/10 of an inch of ice, like we mentioned, can definitely cause slippery road conditions, slippery sidewalks, and whatnot. Yes, for sure. So be careful with that. But like I mentioned, ice really becomes a big problem once we kind of push, 2/10 or greater. Not saying there won't be any can't even English, any slippery conditions or anything, because there will. And even the impacts here from the Weather Service does suggest plan on slippery road conditions. Yes, so even 1/10 can cause slippery roadways and sidewalks and stuff. But you're going to be kind of on the lower side of ice, thankfully. Total snow, sleet accumulations around 1 to 2 inches. So, about 1 or 2 inches expected out there. So be careful. Be careful. It is enough to cause some impacts, could cause some problems traveling and stuff. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. Kim wants me to look at southeastern Michigan. Let's see, specific zip code 48209. Gotcha. Michigan. Yeah, so basically for the Detroit area, like we mentioned here, we were just looking at the models just a second ago. Not expecting much of anything. You'd be lucky if you get an inch. You'd be lucky if you get an inch here. So really not a lot. Let's see here. Lisa, I have no idea how you say that. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Hey, if I could just copy and paste it into my program and it shows me where it's at, hey, that's all that matters. I'm not even going to try on that one. Let's see here. For the one in Wisconsin, my little sister wants... Let's see here. Gotcha. Let's see here. What's up, Chris? Saying, hey, man, the models from my area, both Euro and GFS, are only predict snow Tuesday, but heavy rain a day or two later. I'm from Maryland area, by the way. Gotcha. So there is actually 2 storms we're watching. Like I mentioned, I'm trying to hold back as much as I can from talking about that second system. One, due to the fact that it's still too early to tell how much impacts it's going to be for the region. But 2, also because I don't want to confuse people between the storm that's happening tonight and tomorrow and the storm that's happening possibly between the 11th and 12th or so. So, like I mentioned, yeah, guys, there is going to be 2 systems we're watching. This is the first one, the one we're actually talking about now. But then you can see a little bit later on down in time, there's another system that could be a little bit lower. But that can still change, because this is for the 11th here. And the 11th is still, 3 days or so away, which, snow-wise, looking at accumulations at that length is still a little iffy. Still is a little bit iffy. So, yeah, we're just going to focus on this guy for the most part. That second system, could definitely become a problem for the 11th and the 12th and whatnot. Actually, should be out by the 12th, but we'll see. Once again, we're just going to keep it nice and simple. Once again, also a little early, too, for that second system. But the first system now is the one we need to really be looking out for. All right, let's see here. You got it right earlier. Hey, you know what, Lisa? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Let's see here. Is that Sarah? Is that how you say your name? Sarah? Sarah wants me to look at 6-9. Let's see. Yes, because a 4 is a 6. Good job. 49601. 49601. Let's see here. Michigan. Gotcha. So, yeah, this part of Michigan is actually in a winter weather advisory. Wow, you know what? Pretty good amount of snow. Between 3 and 6 inches of snowfall. Locally higher amounts also possible. So we could break over 6 inches in some spots locally. So 3 to 6 inches. Hey, you know what? Not bad. Not bad. Pretty good amount of snow. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on it. Be careful. It looks like, let's see here. Let's hop back to HRRR here. Go back to the Zero Zulu run. The fresh model of the most freshest long range model we got of the HRRR. So it looks like tomorrow afternoon is when that's going to really start to pop off across Michigan, and it should be out pretty much by the morning of the 9th. Yeah, there might be a little bit of lake effect too. You guys can kind of see on the backside as that cooler air mass takes over. The cooler air rolls over the warmer Great Lakes, generates some snow as well. So especially some localized spots could really get it. So this is the main winter storm that rolls through, and then on the backside, the cooler air, coming down from up north and interacts with the warmer Great Lakes, which generates more snowfall stuff. Could be a problem for like areas in upper Michigan, the upper part of Michigan. All right. According to AccuWeather and Environment Canada. Yeah, so like I mentioned, Todd, we don't really I can't really look very well out there because of the lack of resources I have. A lot of the programs and softwares I use here is, oriented towards the United States, which I know you're close, but, it's not as easy. Plus, the Weather Service just focuses on the U.S., and that's how we quickly are able to tell. Let's see here. Crystal says, smash the like button. Share it, get injured to 30K. We're getting close, man, I tell you, but I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. If you haven't already, I'm not going to force you to it, but if you haven't already, consider leaving a like, subscribing. Most important thing that you guys can do to help out is share this as much as possible. Take this link to this live stream, send it to a friend, family member, tell them to subscribe. Hey, that way that they're locked on and that they can say whether where as well. That can really help out a lot. So if you guys would like to do that, it would be much appreciated. And who knows, it could really become very important, to the people you share it to. So it'd be really, really good all the way around. All right, let's see here. Storm says, could the heavier snow totals on certain places you're looking at be contributed to lake effect? So yes, lake effect will be adding more. Yeah, lake effect will be adding more snowfall to some of those areas here. Of course, where the near the Great Lakes and stuff. You don't really have lake effect snow and not in the Great Lake areas. But anyways, yes, but there will be a little bit more. You can actually see like HRRR, for example. Kind of showing a little bit of that lake effect up there towards like the upper part of Michigan. You can see over here. So yeah, some areas will for sure. But a lot of the snow though is going to be coming from this event, from the main winter storm itself, essentially. Lisa says join Discord. Awesome, good to have you here. All right, let's see here. So, all right, y'all. Well, we're approaching about an hour. Our typical update live here. I'm gonna go ahead and call for any final questions you guys might have. If y'all have any final questions before I roll off, any zip codes, guys. Hey, if you guys want me to take a look at a zip code, just to let you guys know what advisory, warning, whatever you're in, if you're even in one, throw down a zip code in the chat. And like I said, I'll also just let you know how much snowfall you can get and the impacts in general. So, for example, let's see here. Old zip code I used to know very, very well. For example, I will pull up a zip code, look at the advisory, whatever you're in. I'll be able to tell you how much snow, whatnot. So this is all from the Weather Service too. So this is official forecast from the NWS here. So, but yeah, like I mentioned, it really does range though quite a bit over a distance here. And once again, for folks out there towards like a lot of central, southern Pennsylvania, going in towards like Maryland and Virginia, you guys are going to be kind of fighting with the ice. Meanwhile, up north, for some of you folks out there by like Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, whatnot, interior New England here, or this is interior New England. This is coastal New England. But yeah, a lot of like coastal New England and whatnot, they're going to be mostly dealing with snow. And like we mentioned, there actually really could be a fair amount of snow too. Some local amounts, 6, 7, maybe up to 8 inches or so. Seems possible. Sonia, you're very welcome. Darian, you're very welcome. Crystal, you're very welcome. You guys are very, very welcome. Let's see here. Athena says, any chance Central Florida will get out of the 80s in a good way anytime, February/March? I don't know about, well, I guess not for you, but I've been enjoying the 80s. I don't know what you mean. It's been cold lately, especially January. But, here, let me bring y'all back over here real quickly. So it kind of looks like, so this is the GFS, just for example. It looks like we're going to be probably in the 80s for a while. Yeah, I'm not going any further than that. That's a little far out. But yeah, no, it doesn't look like the 80s are going to be going away anytime soon. 60s at night, 80s during the day. Hey, you know what? For me, that's okay. Actually, I enjoy that. But to answer your question, probably not. Probably not. I think February is going to be a little bit more warmer than January was. That's good. January was cold, dude. Not just for us down here in Florida, but for literally everybody else in the country. It was freezing in January. January was freezing. Not freezing was January. All right, let's see here. Lake Effect, you're very welcome. Lisa says, have a wonderful, fantastic, amazing night, and be safe. Y'all. You too, Lisa. All right, Kim, I got you real quick. 02723, Massachusetts. We have a winter storm watch in effect here. Total snow accumulation between 5 to 8 inches possible. So that watch, like I mentioned for you guys, those watches will likely turn over into warnings probably tomorrow morning. Probably early, actually. By the time you wake up, they might be warnings. Probably will be. So, all right, everybody. Well, I hate to do this, but we are over an hour in. I'm going to go ahead and head off here. It's getting a little bit late, too. But we'll be here tomorrow. Once again, I'll let you guys know when we go live tomorrow as well. I'm starting to post more to my other social media platforms and whatnot. So, like I mentioned, we'll give you guys updates and stuff like that overall with everything. But all right, everybody. Well, thank you all for joining. I appreciate y'all. Let's see. Chris says I had hopes that February would give us some relief in temps in the Arctic air, but I might have been incorrect. Well, I think February for now. I think we're not going to be as cold. I mean, but it still is possible. Some areas could definitely still get those really cold temperatures. We are still in winter after all, but I think it will be more mild in temperatures than it was last month. So we'll see. We'll definitely have to see. But with that being said, though, snow will still likely be an issue for some places and whatnot. So. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining. Once again, a huge shout out goes to Proxy once again for the support. I appreciate you very, very much, Prox. If you're still here, thank you once again for your support. As always, I really, really appreciate it. It was good to have you here. Also, Jason, once again, thank you as well for the support. So between Jason and Proxy, thank you guys for your support. Much, much appreciated. Like I said, you guys help keep us afloat. We're really, really thankful for you folks. So Jason, Proxy, thank you guys once again from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate all of y'all's support. And, of course, everybody else who is here just, hanging out and enjoying the weather talk and stuff. I appreciate you. On your way out, guys, if you have not already, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all very, very well, and very, very much. But all right, everybody, thanks for joining. Stream's gonna head off here in approximately 2 minutes, so go ahead and say goodbye to your friends, your family, anybody you're hanging out with in the chat. And all right, everybody, thanks for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, I can't even English. All right, everybody, thanks for joining. You guys stay safe out there. Be careful. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, my friends. See you later on.